Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Touchdowns All Day with John Barber, the podcast. We're going to open the show with a little music today. I think in the spirit of throwbacks, I wanted to play this early demo of Who's in Charge. Primarily because I have all these demos clogging up my computer. I don't know what to do with them, so I might as well play them for you guys. So this is what the song sounds like very early in its career. It's a very simple idea, some drums, a little bit of synths, a little groove. And I'm going to do this for the next couple episodes, play you guys some early demos of stuff, because they do change in some interesting ways.
Who's in charge of this place? We got something to play. Hear us out. Take a moment. We wanna know who's calling the shots. We got the music. We got that sound. Time doesn't waste in this place. Time doesn't waste any time. Can't call your manager, can't call police. Sing us a song if it right. Who's in charge of this place right here? Who's in charge of this place right here?
So a lot of you who are familiar with deep playa trance,
Galaxy far, far away, looking for secrets the hardest to find. Almost we took too much time. Awaited the day. Traveled the galaxy far, far away, looking for secrets the hardest to find. Almost we took too much time. Who's in charge of this place right here? Who's in charge of this place right here?
so I'll take a section like this and I'll just jam on it for a while, and Aaron and Mark come over and jam on it, and we'll send it to Alan, he'll play over it, We'll work a section like this into what it is today, which is a little bit less playa trance than this.
Who's in charge of this place right here? Who's in charge of this place right here? Who's in charge of this place right here? Who's in charge?
There you go, folks. That is maybe 15 versions before the final version, which you can hear on Spotify, all streaming networks, YouTube, etc. From one of our new albums that we're making a couple new albums right now for you guys, because we want you to have cool tunes to listen to. And I'm here in my hotel in Grand Rapids making a podcast for y'all, because I think I figured out how to make a podcast from the road finally. And, just because it's football season, we got to bring back Touchdowns All Day. You can't have the Touchdowns All Day podcast without football season. And I just wanted to throw out a little tidbit. I learned something really interesting this week because I found out how the NFL does their schedules. And I just want to say to all the college football people listening right now, the chair people and all that stuff that are listening to this podcast, the NFL has the best teams from last year play the best teams next year. That's the way the NFL does it. So 1 plays 1, 2 plays 2, 3 plays 3. So this is already a thing. It's just not a thing in college football. Where we were talking on the podcast maybe 2 years ago or something. I think it was 2019. It feels like a before pandemic conversation. This feels very before pandemic. This is a before pandemic episode of the podcast. Before pandemic, we cared about things like football. Post-pandemic, we'll see. Football, I think, will be fine, because it's great. But still, it does feel in the back of your mind like, it's not quite as important as it felt before. And college football needs to keep up with that. And to do that, college football needs 1 to play 2 next year off of this year's rankings. And preferably the year after or 2 years back or something like that. So we talked about this on podcast, Game 5. We hope you survive. Call all your college football representatives and let them know. Game 5, we hope you survive. 1 plays 2, 3 plays 4, 5 plays 6 from last year's rankings. The NFL already does it. And this is what's wrong in college football, because you could have the same 4 teams at the top every year and they don't play each other next year. Think about that. That's the problem, right? If all the teams that were great last year had to play each other next year, then some of them would be eliminated and new teams would be up there, and we would have a nice rotation of teams and qualities and squads and talent and people from all over the country. It would be much more fun. All right, that's my college football rant. I am excited for football season. I know the NFL preseason just kicked off. We have Devontae Smith and Jalen Hurts on the Eagles now. I mean, come on. Am I watching this movie over and over and over again or something like that? This is my college team is now my pro team. I don't know. It's hard to not be an Eagles fan living in Philadelphia because it is very contagious. It's hard to be a Giants fan, period. Like, what's going on over there? I can't even, like, when I look, I feel like when I watch the Giants, I am watching my childhood. And it doesn't feel like a team anymore. I wish those guys would get it together and win a couple Super Bowls. I know they got it in them. So let's talk about the podcast. We are going into the crate here to try and get you all some cool pre-pandemic stuff, because we're kind of doing that right now with the podcast, where we did Karina Reichman post-pandemic, we did Karina pre-pandemic, and we're doing the same thing here with our roundtables. We have 2 roundtables from pre-pandemic. And it's kind of cool to listen to this because we talk about all sorts of stuff. We talk about OJ Simpson, we talk about Game of Thrones, the Beegees, Rammjamm, the role of the invention of the bathtub and the fall of Rome. We talk about all this hilarious stuff in these roundtables, and it's all pre-pandemic. So you get an idea where heads were at pre-pandemic. It's literally right before the pandemic hit. And it's a little bit, it's a good time to bring back out the Game of Thrones conversation because the House of Dragon has launched on HBO. I don't know how many of you watched that, but it seems like the plot of little girl destined for the throne but not allowed to have it in the world that she lives in. Wasn't that the plot of Game of Thrones? So the plot, they're like, the plot of House of Dragons is exactly the same as plot of Game of Thrones, but without all the cool characters. I don't understand what's going on. So I'm excited about the show, to be honest with you, because I like this whole giant dragon imagery, TV shows that have a lot of mythology. I like the TV shows where there's a lot to go on, where all that mythology is really well thought out. I don't know why I like that. It's a DNA thing or something. I have no idea. We'll see. After Westworld's view that robots are too dumb to run the world and would destroy the whole thing, and that very dystopian output of that show, which was just a lost cause from season 1, We'll see if House of Dragon has this, joie de vivre that you're all looking for. I don't know if it's going to or not. I don't know if the football season's going to have the joie de vivre that you're all looking for. But Biscuit Tour is having the joie de vivre that y'all are looking for. So let's just get into that real quick. Shout out to our sponsors. If you're growing weed, you need seeds. Immaculate Seeds. Thank you for sponsoring the show, Immaculate Seeds. We have some biscuit shows coming up in September. We have September 8th at the Grand Opry House in Wilmington, Delaware. That's like a local show. I mean, you got to go to September 8th. September 9th and 10th, Southside Stage at XL Live in Harrisburg, PA, with Dogs in a Pile and Rammjamm. So finally I get to meet those guys. October 27th, Spirit of Swanee Music Fest. October 28th, Salvage Station in Asheville, North Carolina. October 29th is the Norva. November 10 and 11, Infinity Music Hall. November 12th, MGM Music Hall. November 13th, Sherwin Theater, Strasburg, PA. November 18th and 19th is the Eastern at Atlanta, Georgia. We need all the Atlanta heads to show up. The Eastern is a cool new venue. We've been dying to play it. 2 nights there is going to be massive. So we need everybody in Georgia to come to November 18 and 19. Everyone in the Southeast has got to come to the Eastern in Atlanta, Georgia. Got to come to those shows. We'll figure out a way to make it super special for you. And we'll probably debut some stuff, which has been our new strategy. Do you like our new strategy, fans of debuting stuff all the time? Are you looking for more like theme shows where we dress up the same, or where we do other interesting things? What are you guys looking for? Tweet at us with @touchdownsallday and let us know. Just let us know, folks. I read the tweets. I try and favorite them and stuff so I'm reading them, but I read them anyways. Gotta stay focused on what the fans want, you know what I mean? Gotta stay super focused. So this episode, you might remember in Touchdowns All Day episode 28, for those of you who want to go back and check it out. We did this thing called a round table, which was myself, Brandon Neward from BroBible.com, who's an infamous jam band fan, Chris the Swedish Fish, and CRUNKMIKE. We all sat down and we, hung out, made jokes, relaxed, just totally chilled, and left the mics on. And we made this round table. That was episode 28. And we also made 2 more. And then when the pandemic hit, we just didn't put them out. So now we're going to put them out, where this episode and next episode are going to be all about the round tables. And frankly, I think these are the good ones. These are the funny ones. So check them out. Do you want us to do more round tables? Is this a cool thing? Tweet at us at Touchdowns All Day. Send us Instagram responses at Touchdowns All Day. I don't know, what's our Twitter? At TDAD Baby. It's all so confusing. Yes. So anyways, that's the wrap. Here we go. We're going to take a walk into pre-pandemic comedy land for 2 episodes in a row. I'm going to cut both the podcasts from the road. So that's what's going on here, and we're going to play some shows tonight, Grand Rapids, and we're playing Sacred Rose tomorrow in Chicago, and I do have to practice for that stuff too. So I'm taking a second to whip out a quick podcast for you guys, so we got something going on. Big shout out to our sponsors, Immaculate Seeds, because they are back sponsoring 2 episodes of Touchdowns All Day. We have a ticket giveaway with them, 2 pairs of VIP tickets. Drive over to Grow Active Solutions on Hartford Street in St. Louis and grab yourself a pack of Immaculate Seeds. Mention Touchdowns and get a free pack of Immaculate Seeds. Basically, if you go into Immaculate Seeds and buy some seeds and then say Touchdowns, we'll figure out a way to give you something. You know what I mean? Why not? Why not? I mean, that's a touchdown right there. You go in, you buy the seeds, we'll give you something. So Immaculate Seeds works with some of the best cannabis breeders in the country to offer a curated menu that growers and farmers can trust. The services are home grows, farms, medicals, autoflower, feminized traditional seeds, clothes, DNA testing kits, which confirms the gender of the cannabis plant, which is a big deal. You know what I mean? You need them to be females. 20 to 50% off everything on the menu. Mention Touchdowns All Day when ordering. Get a free pack of seeds. Check out their link tree, Immaculate Seeds, and if you want to send them an email, send it immaculateseeds@gmail.com. So thank you, Immaculate Seeds. We are very, very psyched that you guys have offered us some St. Louis community to our podcast. I think we're enjoying this Midwest little bump that we have going on with people in the Midwest. We're playing shows in the Midwest. Everything's happening in the Midwest. And, next up is California. We did a little High Sierra, and then we're going to go out and do some West Coast stuff. So, good times to be Biscuit fans. A lot of new music, a lot of new stuff. And here is a sampling of our Touchdowns All Day round table. I hope you enjoy it. And just quick disclaimer on this because, it's a sensitive world right now. All these guys are at least on the spectrum a little bit, and everybody's a little weird, and none of us are professional comedians, and nothing that we say make any sense or is a representation of anything at all. It's just, we just literally left the mics on while we were just hanging around having fun. That's it. So enjoy the show, and we'll see you after.
We're mass communicate. We're mass communicate. Mass communicate.
What have you guys gone over?
Should we?
Let's
introduce ourselves.
Let's
introduce ourselves so everyone knows who the hell's just rambling on. I'm CRUNKMIKE. Help John make touchdowns all day. And we've got a couple bros here at the Oasis Pond Studio.
I am Brandon Wennard, the publisher of BroBible.com and Jam Band fan. I feel like that's the only way I could make sense of myself in this situation.
It's the only reason you would be here, frankly.
Probably.
Yeah, but you're not really a Jam Band fan, right?
I come and go, man.
You are?
Is Linda Ronstadt a jam band? Just kidding around.
Yes, Linda Ron. We're going to take Linda Ronstadt.
Sweet cuts.
For sure.
You should add that to the Biscuits cover list.
And then I'm John Barber, podcaster extraordinaire.
Nice. And
Chris,
yeah.
the Swede.
Oh, yeah.
What was it, Chris? The
Swedish Chris.
What was
the
the
Swedish
dumb-
Chris Mafia?
I call you the Swedish Fish, but that's good.
Chris the Swedish Fish. Also, I'm also Chris the Swedish Fish.
Me too.
Are you?
I have
We
analyzed
need some
our voices.
help, man. This is fucking.
It's weird.
Dude, sometimes when I hear you and I laughing together, we reach this synchronicity that is, and that's how we broke your window. That's
That's why your window's broken. Sorry. It wasn't my fault.
The deal.
It was your fault. This morning I woke up and I looked at that window and there was a handprint on it.
Oh my God.
What?
And I matched my handprint to it to see if it was mine.
Was
but
it?
I don't know how that happened.
Well,
Outside or inside?
It was inside, I think. I think I was working on that amp and I put my hand on the window and didn't notice it, but I also don't know if that even happened.
Well, OJ Simpson doesn't live too far from here.
Yeah, I know.
Brentwood's right down the street. He's probably not allowed there
He's got that
anymore.
Bronco. He's mobile.
My friend lives right by the stab house or whatever, the murder house, the OJ house.
Yeah.
We were drinking and we went and walked the dog and went by it when I first moved to LA. It has this super creepy. It's owned by somebody different now and it's all overgrown like a jungle and it's just.
Can you feel
It
the
feels
vibe?
like two people got murdered
The
there.
bottom-
Man. OJ Simpson.
The bottom floor is a Chipotle, actually.
He's so aggressive these days in
Yeah.
everything that he does.
Yeah, 'cause he's a free man.
He's a free man and knows that he can push the envelope with just one tweet on anything.
What's that tweet? The glove don't fit.
No, it's like hey, I'm dressing up as whoever for Halloween and boom, instantly killer costume, OJ.
That's content. He's so good for trolling.
The costume murders.
I'm gonna have to.
Totally murdered that joke, OJ.
I know what I'm doing when I get home tonight. Following OJ and fucking
Well,
trolling
he
him.
gives fantasy football advice that is to die for.
Yeah. Well, his whole posse in Vegas is legit boys with Brent Musburger. So he's constantly hanging out with Brent Musburger in Vegas, just because he can't leave Nevada. That's his whole like parole.
Can't
thing.
leave Nevada at all.
He can't leave Nevada.
I guess if there's worse places to be.
Well, that's where you're gonna die.
if you're
Welcome to Vegas. You're
if
gonna
you're a
die
mur-
here.
You're gonna die here.
if you're a murderer,
Including OJ. OJ might not kill you, but you're gonna die here.
Someone should remake the intro for The Simpsons, but with like OJ Simpson's like a safe house, like The Simpsons.
and instead
He's
of
on this mountain hideaway, just like, I don't know, like on a
I'm not
golf
kidding you.
course.
You're in Las Vegas.
instead of
House
the
of Horrors.
He was acquitted. That's all I know him for. An absolutely murderous rusher on the football.
just really
I
kill.
met Hollywood OJ last night. I met
No
Cuba
shit.
Gooding Jr. last night.
Amazing.
Yeah, at a bar. He was getting
Nice.
sauce.
I knew his brother Omar. Yeah.
How was
Where,
Cuba?
where was that at?
He was totally normal.
Nice fella.
He seemed great to me. I didn't know whether to say like you're
You're
the
Rod
best
Tidwell.
OJ humanly possible.
Yeah.
Your OJ depiction was murdered. Like
You
I don't
think
know.
he gets that a lot?
Yeah, I don't know what to say to
slayed
him.
that shit,
I could have
bro.
pretended like I was like I know who you are because everybody does, but I'm not going to say anything. But his OJ murdered.
Slayed it.
Before all of that came
Stuck
out, I saw him at a Super Bowl party where the DJ brought him on stage, like Cuba Gooding Jr.
Wow.
brought him on that he was about to play like OJ. You know, club trash environment, and everyone's just like OJ, freaking out on him. It was great.
But also Snow Dogs.
Wait, this is Cuba Gooding Jr.
Cuba Gooding Jr.
How
Bring
did they
it
know he was going to do OJ?
because it was just announced.
It was like
that,
it just was like the big news of the week.
the big news of the entertainment news of the
but
week
he was
that
not
he was going
dressed
to be
as OJ.
No, he was like partying. He was like having a great
He was like
time.
just trying to meet people and have fun.
Right.
How do you dress as OJ? I'm kidding.
I mean, last night he was wearing like overalls
Okay.
and like a
Yeah.
jacket. So that's how you dress as Cuba Gooding.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I don't know what change you need to make to that outfit to go OJ.
Wear a glove that kind of fits, you know?
Hold a knife and like a girl by the head.
And roll up with your own Kato Kalin.
Yeah.
Oh man, Kato's the man.
He is, yeah.
Like that Kato scene in the Cuba Gooding Jr. like thing where they're in Santa Monica and he's just like rolling up with like a car full of babes. Like it's the most Kato thing you can imagine. Kato Kalin was one of our first really weird celebrity Twitter followers on BroBible. So he would retweet BroBible stuff and like comment on it and everything like that. And we would just be like, sure, like fucking Kato Kalin of all people is an endorser of what we're doing here.
Yeah, literally one of the most famous people in the world for no reason
For
at
no
all.
reason.
Except
That's just-
OJ murdered motherfucker.
And because it was the timing, it was like that whole generation that I'm in, and like it's like the digital analog split. Like he was the first like celebrity from like just
Who,
happened-
Kato Kalin?
who happened to like be, you know what I mean?
The
Like
problem, here's
Yeah.
my problem with Kato
Like-
Kalin. I think, even though I know Kato Kalin is, I think Kato Kalin is the little Asian dude who used to jump out of the ceiling and attack the Pink Panther.
Yes.
That's Kato
Sounds
Kalin. Whenever you
like
say Kato Kalin, I almost think about that guy for a second.
It's Green Hornet.
Yeah,
that was the guy.
little
That
guy who
was the
shows
guy.
up and kicks the shit out of the Pink Panther. And
know,
then
that
I'm
is
like,
the-
oh,
that's
no,
the same
it's
guy.
the weird surfer bro that hangs out with OJ, who's famous for no reason. Why was he even... What, did he live in that bar? Something like that?
Plastic surgery
The
can do
guest,
wonders.
yeah, it was the guest house guy.
Same fella. Well,
so
years later.
who else follows BroBible?
Chrissy Teigen is
Yeah.
a huge one.
Yeah.
She used to be a huge one. She
feel like
actually
it's-
used to write for us before she popped off.
She's
And,
pretty
like,
fucking hilarious.
She's so funny. So we used to have this column called Ask a Babe.
Yeah.
Way before, I don't even know if she was dating John Legend at the time. She would just write relationship advice and go totally unfiltered on it. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Talking
Chrissy's
about my
been a
first three
huge fan.
wives, actually. Yeah.
Exactly. She's great.
Yeah, she's funny. Says like tweets Plinko and like shows her trying to cook fucking pizza rolls in an oven where they're just like falling through the racks and shit.
Yeah,
She's just a mess. It's funny to watch. Like she owns it.
totally.
She does.
Yeah.
She's made for Instagram. It's
Yeah.
like amazing.
Made for
It's
Instagram.
amazing.
She's like content.
Her personality.
Yeah, it's like I
It's
just
like
wanna
she's
watch
got
you.
that like edgy, hilarious thing, but she also kind of wraps it up nice at the same time. Like some
Yeah.
people are super edgy all the time. You can't really follow them for more than a month because it's like enough already
Right.
with your super edginess.
She and
Chrissy
herself
T, you
is,
can taste for a minute.
yeah, she's kind of like a pizza roll, you know? It's around, there's a lot of molten stuff in there.
Yes.
You know, on the
That
outside.
shit's delicious, but you can't just have that. You need a little breading around the
Don't
outside.
eat it right out of the oven. You will burn your mouth. Like
Spicy
really
content.
fucking bad. You
3
won't
to
eat the
4
rest
days.
of them. You're not gonna eat you'll have one and done.
Pissed for 3 to 4 days on that one. She's so strong and covered in breading. Oh my god!
Is that oregano?
I smell the oregano. Chrissy Teigen must be here.
You smell delicious.
Chrissy, you smell delicious. Why are you with OJ right now?
What a team.
Chrissy Teigen's like, I brought the pizza rolls. Meet me at the glove store on the 16th and
That's the
73rd.
CSI team I want to see. Chrissy Teigen and OJ. Chrissy and OJ.
The Chrissy and OJ show.
I'll watch the shit
Oh
out of
my god.
it. You got the spicy package that's wrapped up nice, and then you have the spicy package. That's it.
That we tried to wrap up and keeps getting out of jail. It's like a pizza roll that falls apart.
Brought to you by Totino's.
Oh my god, did OJ get out of jail again? Yes. Oh Jesus.
Someone call CBS. You know.
Somebody close the isotoner store right now.
Does it make those gloves? Were you ever a glove wearer?
I've never seen the purpose of wearing a leather glove.
Unless you're murdering someone.
Or you're like Dan Marino or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like what do you wear that glove for? Like
Driving.
Yeah, driving in
Murdering.
the 1930s.
yeah, like driving a Ferrari, a little mini Ferrari
To
with
murder
no top.
somebody.
Yeah.
In the winter with like goggles on.
Scarf blowing in the wind behind you.
But isotoner is like a knockoff driving glove. So
Yeah.
like really, when do you wear that for?
Isotoner is the cushy
pushing your,
American leather glove.
Yeah.
For the American idiots in the mall.
Pushing your like station wagon.
Yeah, exactly. Or murdering a family member.
One of
And
two.
her waitress boyfriend.
Or murdering someone over 30 years older than you. You know?
Yeah.
Murdering someone who's an easy kill. You can use the isotoners.
Yeah, if it's under 30, you can just, get a regular glove. It's a special.
A nice
fine.
mitten will do.
Yeah, the mitten usually helps to play. You get the mitten with the little foldable fingers on it. That's how they murder people nowadays.
Thanks, bro.
LOL.
Sending this to the cops.
Murder someone real quick.
Screenshotting this and texting it in. Don't call me. Have you ever had somebody like say, I'm screenshotting this and sending it to somebody? I have.
I think so.
And it pissed me off.
Yeah.
I was like, you little bitch.
What part of your genitalia was it a picture of?
No, it was like it was like a work buddy of mine, and I was like saying something like he was being a real dick about something. I was like, why you gotta be like that? Like I brought you on this job. He's like, I'm screenshotting this and sending it to our boss. I was like, you are a bitch.
I mean, that's a little bitch move.
Yeah, I was like, really, bro? We can't just like.
Were you texting about the boss? Like, he's such a great boss. He's the best boss I've ever had in my life. What a hunk, you know?
Yeah, it was like
I'm sure it was.
Total hunk.
I was like trying to switch like shifts with him and like take the opening shift so I could go to like an LAFC playoff game or some shit. He was being a bitch about it. And I got him the job in the first place, and then he was like,
That's harsh, man.
yeah, he was like, I'm screenshotting this because I called him out. And he was like, I was like, go right ahead, you little punk. Like,
Yeah. It's a lot.
That's brutal.
do it.
You can fake
That guy
text message
sucks.
conversation.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna work
Like
with
literally,
him.
that guy sucks.
I'm not gonna work with that guy again. Not gonna recommend him for a job.
You should send a fake text message meme out of him saying crazy shit to you.
There are multiple websites you can do that on.
Yeah, that's like a whole phenomena. Like,
What,
it's like,
memes?
no, you just like make like it looks like a text message because it's in the bubbles.
Oh,
It's just
yeah, yeah.
Photoshop, like whatever.
They have those like
And it's, like,
conversations
not
between
real.
like a
This is
shark.
not real.
They don't even use those bubbles anymore.
Yeah, I don't even
They've
do that. It's
bubbled
like,
in 20 years.
you're just writing a screenplay.
Word art. Yeah.
It's hard to talk about this. It's a really hard subject that people have trouble with.
Yeah, yeah.
That was on his text message. Y'all
Textbook.
using carrier pigeons?
Yeah, man, I
My
can't
bird
send an
still ain't got
emoji
that.
on a podcast.
Yeah.
Let's describe our favorite emoji in great detail. No, it's yellow, and it's got hard eyes, but it's also got the face of a shark, and there's water
Language
dripping
will
down from
evolve
its
to that
mouth.
point where we have like the equivalent of like what an emoji looks like in a podcast somehow. Think about it. Like it's like a post-speak world.
Yeah,
Like-
no, there's like emoji. Like my friend like dropped off Facebook for like 7 years. He was like, well, since I came back, like the only thing I retained from reading, not reading his post was that the one thing was like emoji responses. Like you can actually respond to somebody and it's like a whole sentence with like one emoji.
Oh, for sure.
It's like the next language. Like
There's
I
a hidden
remember
language.
my dad was like a computer programmer and he was like, dude, this emoji shit is like driving computer programmers crazy because it's like everything's ones and zeros and then you add in like pictures and it's like
I could probably do it. The Chinese have been using emojis for their language for a long time.
So the
it's like-
Egyptians
That's
did.
actually
Shit's been around a minute.
Yeah.
You talk about
We're
how
just finally catching up. Americans, you probably sobered up long enough to realize you could send somebody a happy face.
they were like, maybe we should paint on the phones like they did on the walls in Egypt.
That's what I send to Panda Express. Just a frowny face. I get orange chicken every single day. Not true. Dude, I mean, we're talking about the Egyptians a bunch tonight, you know? It's like hieroglyphics. They were just like big eagles, big, like, you know, Tut and Raz and stuff. And
Yeah.
our boy Osiris, you know? They were communicating with pictures all the time. Our boy.
So, Brandon, you brought over what'd you bring over?
That is the Game of Thrones Johnny Walker. Both Fire of Ice and what's the winter one called again? Song
Ice,
of
the song
Stark.
Ice.
Yeah, that's
Fire
right.
is Targaryens.
Stark family.
Stark.
Ice is Starkies.
Yeah, and they're two totally different blends.
They're both
I have no idea
fantastic.
what it is.
you know?
They're-
the first
the ice one's
7
delicious.
parts of it were great, and then the 8th part just sucked.
It made me just cancel my HBO immediately. I was like, what the fuck is this? I don't want it ever again.
I've never drank whiskey that made me drive to drink as much as that.
After that 8th, I was like, somebody was like, oh yeah, it's this show on HBO, it's good. I was like, yeah, fuck you.
The bottom part of this sounds like it tastes like George Martin giving up.
It's
Let me die.
it has the faint aroma of the writing door room closing with him walking out in season, what was that, 6 and a half or something?
I can smell the bathtubs filled with money that nobody got out of to write that season.
Fucking Giant's milk of money.
Sir, would you
That was probably the best part in the whole series.
Giant?
The Giant's milk, where
Oh yeah,
the guy was talking about suckling the Giant's teat and it made him strong. The redhead dude.
Yeah.
What's his
oh
name?
yeah.
He had some great lines. Dude.
He was classic.
That's
Yes.
the part you liked?
Yeah, it
That's
was
the part.
hilarious.
You said, that was the
Big
best
old
part
giant
of
titties.
A grown
80
man
hour
sucking man's titties. That's the part that you like.
I really started getting
80
invested
hours
in
of
that.
TV.
That's when I took my pants off right there. I was watching. I was fully clothed.
I'm gonna have fucking Miss Lisa in the other room play back the clip when we go live. And you know, I can't do the joke, but it was a good joke. The Giant's milk. It made him strong. She
did.
suckled him with her teat.
Oh, absolutely.
She laid with him, gave him strength through her titties.
My favorite thing about the end was like when all these like just bad conspiracy theories about like Game of Thrones being Terrapin started. Like,
What?
yeah, it started with, like George R. R. Martin's
He's a dead
such
fan.
deadhead. Yeah. And when
Is he Bob Weir in a fat suit? Let's be honest.
I want to know more about that.
Bob's not supposed to know.
Is that why Bob's hitting the weights so hard? Because he's trying to shed those.
he's trying to exactly.
He has to lose it all from winter to summer tour.
Dude, Direwolf, they got the songs to
Yeah.
prove it. Let's be honest. There's a lot of clues here. Okay, anyway, sorry.
No, that's all there is to it. I'm just like, you know, there was like a night where I was like, man, the story arc of Terrapin and where Game of Thrones is going are just not lining up. Like, it's not.
It's like, where's
I
the
was like-
electric Kool-Aid acid
Yeah, I'm
test?
like, it's. I see it. I see the bridge. I see the thematic connection there, but I don't see the conclusion lining up the same way.
The 8th season is 90s Jerry.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a strange thing because played Terrapin with the guys in the Dead, so I kind of should know something about the song. And the only thing that happens in the song is the lady throws her fan into the fire.
Yes.
Lady
That's,
with the
all, that's the
fan.
whole song.
Yeah.
Terrapin.
Will you I throw my fan? Yeah, and then they just yell
Terrapin.
Terrapin over and over and over again.
I'm gonna throw my fan. Terrapin. Into the fire.
That's like, how much acid were those guys on when yelling the word Terrapin over and over again was a great idea for
I think
a
that
song.
might have been a better
Imagine the record label meeting when those guys came in and were like, our new hit. This is our new hit. Terrapin.
They're singing it. They didn't even. Why didn't you guys play guitars?
They probably went in their mouth.
Yeah, but that shit slaps.
The record label
That
exec
had to
was
be
like,
wild though in the era of like Led Zeppelin, where like you're like, yo, Led Zeppelin's already doing this weird Lord of the Rings shit over here. Like,
yeah.
like what is it?
I think it would have been a better finale of Game of Thrones if everybody would just like had a bunch of acid and just like seeing what happened.
Wow.
Like,
Always.
you know, just like
Yeah, that would have been great. I think they did that. It was the episode where they didn't turn the lights on.
yeah.
but that's like-
on acid, that episode looks amazing.
They were like
You know what they should have done?
that was
Turn
like-
all the lights on and put on the Allman Brothers. A lot better.
Daenerys lives and rides away to fucking.
Sweet Melissa.
Blue sky.
Sweet Jessica Jam of Daenerys.
And then everybody takes their tops off, dude. That's what I would do. If I worked at HBM, that would be ending Game of Thrones.
Competitive ending, I think. I think competitive.
We can do a reboot, maybe. Like, just bring it back.
That's kind of what like The Sopranos did in that season where like Tony got like popped and
Allegedly, dude. We never know.
Allegedly.
No, that's the
Allegedly.
finale.
Allegedly.
There was the season where he got shot, and then he went into like a dream sequence for.
Oh, yeah, you thought he died.
Like
Yeah,
three
you thought he
episodes.
died, but it was
He
like
lived in
3
Costa
episodes,
Mesa,
and
and
you're
it's
like, "Yo, this
California,
is
dude. He was in North
yeah."
Carolina.
You're like, "This is ridiculous." Whoever thought like,
Oh, it's fantastic.
yeah,
Those are some of the best episodes. And it's like Steve Buscemi welcomes him into that house, and he's like, "Come in," and that's like the final frontier.
How about
But
when
then
he
he's like,
fucked the lady with one leg?
Now we're talking.
Were you not like, whoa, didn't see that coming?
I'd say she's the best.
Did he like
Except
take
no other leg at all.
It was like a prosthetic limb.
Do you remove the limb?
I think he took it. That's what I was about to
She's
say.
I
Russian,
think that's
dude.
what made it funny.
He was like, yeah, I think
was the laugh.
that was the kick.
That was the
yeah.
laugh.
You were like, oh, he's doing
Well,
it.
the
And then-
lack of a kick. Yeah.
that was the one leg kick. It was. He was like, hold on, let me take this off.
That's a good Sopranos.
I mean, honestly, if you're gonna have sex with a one-legged woman, it's
Might
kind
as
of a whole
well.
nother game.
Might as well take. The
It's a
leg
whole.
off.
You might as well take the leg off because
See
that's
what you
the only
got.
time you're gonna get to do that in
That's
your entire
that's
life.
an angle you can't get with two
Never
legs.
gonna get that with the normal. You're on another level at that point.
Oh, you obviously don't hang out in the burn ward like I do. So what's shaking? Sorry.
My skin.
I don't do that.
Lanolin, $35. I got some lanolin in the car. Lanolin. Lanolin.
Isn't that like one of the string dusters plays one of those, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Mandolin.
He rips on that. Dude.
Lanolin is when you play a mandolin that's made out of butter.
That shit, third one melted tonight.
Yeah.
We're halfway through the first song.
Damn lanolin.
I think it
Lanolin. I didn't play over my bread. I play over my bread and put it
I
on the
can't believe
stove.
it's not mandolin.
Oh, Black Betty.
I guess.
It's like, oh, Black Betty, land to land. Oh, Black Betty, land to land.
That song still blows me away because
You
that's
guys should cover
the
that.
most popular song in the world, and
Because
I
of
only
Blow.
heard of it like 5 years ago.
What?
Yeah, I heard it 5 years ago, and I was like, oh, that song's interesting.
You didn't
And then
hear it on
everybody,
Blow?
then I went to some party and they played it and everybody was dancing. And I was like, what is this Black Betty song?
Did you like?
I missed it.
Did you
somehow.
never just like exist in that world that listened to like classic rock radio? Like,
I did.
Dude, I'm in a band. I was born in that world.
no, but that was
I know
such,
every
like,
single song in that
No,
world. I
but
can
that was
play them.
such a classic
play
rock
them.
I
radio
know, and it
song.
just-
Like,
missed it completely.
I think Blow brought it back, obviously. Yeah.
Oh, the movie?
Yeah.
Because I was in
I thought you
Australia.
just meant in-
I was in
No, there are
Australia, in
cars
the
and
north
shit.
part of
But the
Australia,
movie
at some
Blow.
like island resort that the Chinese people go to. So it was just me, and then there's these Chinese people in
What
the
was the
hotel.
resort's name? Just Emoji?
It's like a Hilton
Emoji?
on Hamilton Island is where it was.
Okay.
Enjoy.
So Google Hamilton Island. It's a really great place to go on vacation. We go to the hotel, and I'm sucked into cricket in the lobby. I can't stop watching cricket.
Oh yeah.
I just sit there. It was
addicting.
India, Pakistan.
addicting.
I can't stop watching this. I'm like transfixed by cricket. I don't know why. I think I was just tired.
It's the bounce. It's how they.
It's like hypnotic. Like I
That
just
happened
got
to me.
into it. Next thing you know, like 4 days went by, and I'm watching the thing, and they strike the TV, and they bring in this little DJ, and all these Chinese people come in for some kind of wedding dinner thing. I have no say in the matter, and I've been watching cricket for 4 days straight. Because this game's going forever. I don't even know how to keep score in cricket. They took away my little mesmerization drug. So I'm talking to these people, and while I'm talking to them, they played the Black Betty song, and everybody went to the dance floor and went crazy.
That's amazing.
And I was like, what song is this?
thing
This is
gone
like the
wild.
new hot song? And the girl I was with was like, no, dude, this is like a dumb song from the 70s. I've never
Yeah.
heard. I remember the first time I heard that song.
But it's pretty
'Cause I
good.
never
That's
heard it
insanity.
because it was 3 years ago.
That's absolutely insane.
Yeah, I didn't even know what you're singing right
Dude,
now.
check this out. I'm sure you haven't
I feel
seen
like that's
music
the
video
song that
for it.
like a lot of
The music
construction
video
workers
is
start the day with.
fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
probably.
feel like that's
The
a
music
song that
video
a lot
is
of
phenomenal.
babies have been
The
made
music
to, and
video
like
is
the
next level. Dude,
Sticks.
the lead guitarist was like, he's kind of this strangly looking
Rammjamm.
dude with like his big blonde hair and then like horn rimmed glasses, and they're all standing in front of like a trailer park, and they're just ripping. But the thing is, you know, like most 70s music video, they're all obsessed with looking cool and shit, and like how big can the guitar solo be? These guys are like licking at the camera and stuff, and like getting weird, dude. So you know, I think that's why that song stands the test of time, dude. Is because
video.
the video, and also it's just like it's a song about just being a goofball, dude. It's just about like down.
Man,
You know what the lyrics are of that song?
Oh, Black Betty.
I don't even know what that means. I just heard, oh, Black Betty, hey, hey.
Well, it's very similar to like where did you
Rammjamm.
come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from? Oh, Black Betty, down. You know, they're like
Yeah.
very similar. That kind of like honky tonk. We're dancing around the barn type music.
Black
you know?
Betty had a child, got damn thing gone wild.
Yeah.
Ram-a-lam.
Down, but down.
We used to have this
ramble on.
like joke in college that like it was like nothing good can happen when you're driving a car and that song comes on because like
Yeah.
the impetus to just gun it, just go like
yeah.
just push the limit.
And
like,
also, you're
is-
probably in a tractor.
yeah, exactly. You're like, it's a lawnmower.
With gonorrhea.
Dude, I never sit in shorts on a tractor.
How is it because the song is so important to you?
We had
It's so
this
funny.
like college apart, like ranch style house that we were renting out. And like one of my friends, Kevin, like he never like really had girls over, you know, and he had one in the room, and like we were jamming, we were partying out in the house, and like we could start, you know, they were starting to make noise back there, and we like, so we put on Black Betty and like just cranked it. You know, an hour later he comes out of the room and he was like, "Oh, dude, you guys put on like Black Betty?" Like right when I was like just fucking hitting it. It like took me to the next level. And it was like, "Boo!" And we were like, "Fuck yeah."
And she said 5 times her name was Puerto Rican Sharon.
He's
That
like,
is not a
"Black
joke
Betty."
in this day and age. Still, it makes me laugh.
Are there any like,
Laughter extends across generations.
are there any like
Apparently
really
China,
good covers of it?
yeah, like
I don't think
Australian
there are
resorts.
any really good covers.
They
Like,
loved the song.
yeah,
They were going
I
nuts.
think the Biscuits should play Black Betty as well.
I don't
No.
think there's a good cover
Hell no.
of it. that
Have you been to China, John?
It's not even a real song. The fact that you guys like
No.
this song is an anomaly. You guys must have brain
It's a
tumors.
riff. It's just a riff.
There's a brain tumor thing going on.
Oh, that's what.
Yeah.
Yeah, my doctor actually called it the Black
Not
Betty.
cool.
It's funny, like in the 70s, you had 2 songs to choose from: Terrapin Station or Black Betty.
I chose Terrapin.
Like, what the
Let
hell?
me get this straight.
Also, more than
Let me
a
get this
woman
straight.
by the
I
Beegees.
chose
There's a
Terrapin.
third option.
What was the third one?
More than a woman by the Beegees. More than a woman.
That was your choice.
The Beegees get a lot of flack, but they're
pretty
cool.
good, yeah.
Dude, they started out as like a Beatles knockoff from Australia, dude. And then all of a sudden, like,
I thought that
this
was the
producer-
Monkeys.
well, it was a lot of them, dude. Like everybody was trying to knock off the Beatles once upon a time. But then all of a sudden, like this producer got a hold of them. They're like, "Hey, your harmony is great. It's kind of like an Eagles type thing, where like the harmonies just sound so good. They're like, your talent's being wasted on this psychedelic stuff. Make a disco record." And then they got on Saturday Night Fever, killed it.
That's
Well,
awesome.
the rest is
Who
history.
was that
That's
person?
so cool.
A person I just made up for
Yeah.
the sake of the story.
They
No,
sound
there
like
is
a
this dude.
winner.
Yeah. But
What
they,
does that person think of my band?
John, that
Best
person
band in the land.
Can we do it? Should we make a disco record?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, disco's
Worked
back, man.
great for the Bee Gees, I gotta say.
Disco.
Hell yeah.
I don't think making a disco record could have possibly worked out any better for them.
No.
No, not at all, man. Dude, they're like
perfect.
they went multi-plat. Like Saturday Night
That's
Fever.
what I'm saying.
is-
Like whoever that was, it was like disco.
Did
Yeah.
did the
Yeah.
Bee Gees
Fucking
ever have to
genius.
like tour? Did they, like
Dude, of course.
they
Dude,
just were
Barry
studio
Gibb is
musicians,
still
right?
They
rocking.
must have just.
Yeah.
They're still touring.
Did you
But I
know-
think they were mostly
A
studio
lot of people
guys.
don't know this. The Bee Gees are three brothers, right? Barry, Maurice, and Andy. And well, no, it's four brothers because Andy had a solo career, and then the other one was Robin Gibb. So there are four brothers. Andy was doing his solo thing, and then the other three brothers were the Bee Gees, dude, who had that awesome, like iconic harmony. And then that's why they saw those
Yeah.
three. They're like three dudes who sound exactly the same, almost like a Beach Boys from Australia.
Yeah.
Put that shit together, make a sick disco record. And then like go back and look at Saturday Night Fever. You know, it's cheesy,
great
it's John
shit.
Travolta, but dude, those songs
Those
still
songs are
kick.
all great.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
an L slap.
Yeah.
All of them.
And they kept, dude, like, check out some of their early stuff too. I don't know. They were just churning out funky
We're
shit.
gonna play some Bee Gees for you. Early edition. Deep cuts.
Should that be the Bee Gees expert, Chris Lindvall?
Oh man.
I played the Bee Gees song at the acoustic shows last year. I played "In the Mind of the Morning Sun." I hear you smoking in the pouring rain. That song is great.
Sure, there wasn't a dry eye in the house.
Yeah, no, there was no dry. They were pouring water over their head, trying to figure out what the fuck they just paid for.
The sprinklers. Throw a little fire in the back.
Yeah, seriously, every fire alarm in the place was pulled within 8 seconds into the song.
It was the riot police coming in with tear gas. Not a
I
dry
got hit in the face with a tear gas can. That's why I perform in riot gear.
and the band played on.
No, you got to continue making music even after the backfire. It'll survive the backfire. That must be weird though to sing and sound like the Bee Gees. You know what I mean? Like
That's
when
gotta
did they
be
figure
insane.
out? When did they start singing together and be like, "Oh no, that's great"?
That's
what,
it.
what the fuck did we just
It
do?
was, it was out of the womb, dude.
Yeah.
They came out, and the doctor was very disturbed. What the fuck?
The doctor's like, none of them have a normal voice.
They should join him.
Well, he was
These guys are boy band or bust. Let me tell you, folks.
Yeah, it was the birthing doctor. He was like, you know what? Disco album. These three right here.
There, that's it right
Platinum,
there.
multi-platinum. And then mom was like,
Listen
I
to
don't
those
know.
cries.
The doctor said that to me. Remember that one time when the doctor said that? I just think the boys are destined for platinum records.
Wow, I wonder how much the Bee Gees and ABBA hated each other for that top song.
Oh, they had to absolutely.
You know, I'm Team
Yeah.
G's. I'm Team
Much
Bee Gees all the way.
Between them.
Oh,
Can we find that out? Can we get them on the podcast maybe?
Oh,
Like,
I think so for sure.
That was Bloods and Crips shit, dude.
Yeah,
that
it's
was
like
Tupac,
gang wars.
fucking Biggie,
Yeah.
dude. Like, but ABBA and Bee Gees.
Dancing Queen.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
were like, what the
Biggie.
fuck is that song?
ABBA and the Bee Gees.
y'all look like a real beef. Disco supremacy of the
Called
70s.
Dancing Queens.
Yeah, dance. Dude,
like
I
they
mean,
had to have super fans, right? Like
Yeah,
they had
of
to have
course.
like people
ABBA,
that were like,
ABBA was like, there's some
ABBA,
cult
yeah.
ABBA people.
But, like-
I'm sure there's cult BG people like
but like
Chris
cult
over here.
PG people are what I'm fascinated by.
dude,
Like
you got me thinking big time, man, because like ABBA has obviously like two major motion pictures based on their music,
Yeah.
right? Like Dancing Queen 1 and 2, or
yeah.
Mamma Mia 1 and 2.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now, like, where's the Bee Gees version of that, dude? You know,
Right.
Hey,
The Bee
I'm
Gees
just
had
like
Saturday Night
right there.
Fever. They had
Right
Saturday
there,
Night Fever.
Chris.
yeah, well, that's the thing. Does Saturday Night Fever take away from the overall like cultural significance of it because it's like Saturday Night Fever? Like you're collecting think about it like a lunchbox. Are you collecting the Saturday Night Fever lunchbox or are you collecting a Bee Gees lunchbox?
Lunchboxes all day, you know?
I think.
yeah, you're seeing John Travolta when you think of the Bee Gees.
Exactly.
Not
Yeah, exactly.
Barry
That's
Gibb.
what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, wait
because
a
like
second.
honestly, like I didn't really understand that the Bee Gees did the entire soundtrack of Saturday Night Fever.
Solid point.
He, well, the lead
Yeah,
singer,
in fact,
Barry
I'm
Gibb.
kind of
Did they?
kind of blown away that you guys even know that.
Did they?
I don't know. Did that?
Chris, a resident Bee Gees.
A resident Bee Gees expert.
What do you got?
Because he's Swedish.
BGCC.
Are all the songs?
Dude, did you write an oral history on the
What does BG mean?
He told us that already.
Background. Oh, okay.
Pay attention.
Sorry, that was high.
Dude, well, here's the crazy thing. Y'all ready for the big plot twist?
Wait,
Yeah.
The Bee Gees are from Australia, but guess who's from Sweden?
ABBA.
Fucking ABBA, dude.
That's right.
Of course.
So I'm a betrayer of my own kind.
Truly hates the Bee Gees under the cover.
So-
like much like the prisoners Britain once sent to Australia, I too flee to where the Bee Gees
Is
call them.
ABBA? I don't want to change the subject, but I've been thinking about this all
Please
day.
don't
Like,
change the subject.
Is ABBA?
Stay here. Stay.
Is ABBA?
We're in the pocket. We're in the pocket. Okay, go ahead. He's in the pocket, guys.
Is ABBA where Sweden's rich history of electronic dance music started?
Yes.
Yeah. Unless we're wrong.
Has to be.
Yes, unless
It
we
has
don't know
to
what we're
be,
talking
right?
about. Well, where's Kraftwerk from?
Right. Kraftwerk's right.
I don't know where Kraftwerk's from. They're from over there.
Germany.
Is this
Yeah.
straight Germany?
Dude, that was East
Yeah.
Berlin. That was back like Soviet Union shit, dude. Like the wall came down.
That was
and
communist dance music.
It was. It really, dude. They were like they had to go underground. East Berlin still has that sick like out.
I would like you to dad.
There's a lot of like deadheads out there that love ABBA. Like, ABBA's
Like you
a
to
sneaky.
sneaks.
They're a sneaky like
Dad.
It's a
good
dance
band.
group.
The robot would
It's a
like
da-
you to dad.
it's 1,000% a dance group.
Yeah.
That's a great song.
Who doesn't like
The
the
robot
dance?
would like you to dance.
Dance.
I'm just made this
Right.
song now. It's gonna be a huge hit on the 1984 dance scene.
What?
You should
robot
retroactively
would like you to
release
dance.
an album like from the hidden files that is
Yeah.
all music you made now, but be like, I've dug this deep since 1984. It's been back here. I made it when I was in East Berlin, living as like a pickaxe man,
Shoe cleaner.
shoe cleaner, yeah, of course. And then it's like, but now this comes to light now, and then bam, all of a sudden, you have that Todd Terje Kraftwerk craziness going on.
I'm just like, I'm fascinated by that. I think like, it's dope that like Sweden has just embraced the fact that like, all right, like we make fucking dance music. Like,
Yeah.
I would love to
I
travel.
also
there.
just
I don't
watched
know.
like an Avicii, like a lot of Avicii stuff today.
Poor
So
Avicii.
like, I'm like, Avicii's very in my head right now.
He's got some bangers, man. That was a sad.
Swedish,
That was a
right?
sad
Also
one.
Swedish, yeah.
That was a sad one for sure. But-
Sweden and Norway, dude. It's just like the long nights there, right? You know that's the time.
That's
the-
probably
and the
like
drugs.
We're
Yes.
just partying till dawn, and you don't realize it's dawn, and then you just go, and then you walk out of the club. It's probably like 11:30 a.m.
Yeah.
like 3 days after you.
You don't know what day it
Where
is.
am I? Yeah, but it's like the sun never came up. So what can you do? You know, it's the all-time party.
Scandinavia.
I was really sad when Swedish House Mafia broke up. Like, in
Did they break up
2000
officially?
No, they took like a 4-year hiatus.
Ooh,
I think it was in 2013 was when they
They were really the best at
they're
that whole
they were
dance
the
movement.
best.
They
at
were like that movement was really popular because they were great, and then the second they bailed, it was like, oh, this shit's cheesy.
They were like,
Right.
oh,
It's like, oh my god,
everybody's
it's cheesy. What happened? How did I not know this?
And they like nailed such a like great like production concert cycle where they were like, all right, we're gonna release a record. Cool. Now we're gonna do like 3 shows, and then it's like, oh, we're gonna release another record. Now we're gonna do like a couple of shows, but like their shows were like 80,000 person shows. Like,
It's like when Outkast stopped rapping. You're like, wait, what? What happened to rap?
Did you ever see that Key and Peele sketch about like why Outkast doesn't tour anymore? And it's like Big Boy sitting in there, you know, like true Atlanta,
He's
like
ready.
from Savannah, like, you know, he's hanging out in this coffee shop. And then Andre 3000 comes bustling in his Robin Hood cap, and it's like, oh, take a fishbowl full of Gatorade. And they're like, hey, what's up, man? It's like, so do you want to get back together? Like, no. Because there's a dichotomy there. I mean, like, what was it? Speaker Box, The Love Below. All of a sudden, you see that, like, Big Boy puts out a trap record that's tight, dude. It stands up. But then Andre 3000 starts putting out Hey Ya and, like, great, like, transcendent pop hits. But at the same time, they're divergent, man. Those aren't the same dudes,
yo,
you
that
know?
was so cool though to own the double disc. Like,
Yeah, that was dope.
like you're
Two
like,
different-
oh, this one thing is this, and this other thing is something different. And
How cool is that?
Each-
Yeah. And they were like versus each other, kind of, but they
Yeah.
complement each other.
No, I mean like
Yeah.
each side had like 3 legitimate songs, like really good
for
songs.
sure.
You know, 3 more than that, but like
They
three
do-
three
my-
offerings from each of them. That
my
were all-
mom loved the Big Boy side.
yeah,
Yeah,
Big Boy
was
side.
the Big Boy side the one
Big
with my
Boy's
favorite,
awesome.
the jazz version of My Favorite Things on it, with like this like
I don't
crazy like
Maybe.
techno breakbeat thing on it.
He was doing a lot.
You know what I'm talking? There's
Yeah.
there were a couple like straight up instrumental
Yeah.
like tracks on that. I remember I played it for my dad. I was like, ooh, this is my favorite
Big Boy's
thing.
got
And he's
like, there's a lot
"What?"
of Big Boy stayed at. I mean, there's a lot of like solo Big Boy stuff that like follow us and like some shit he did with George Clinton and stuff. Like
Yeah.
that one is like I blow my smoke in the air, shine blockers. Big Boy's what they need to Andre back before and that needs to happen.
It probably will.
Yeah,
Before we're gone.
yeah.
Dude, but
Yeah, what happened? They broke up? I think they put an
Andre's
album out
Yeah,
but
later
they did
together
that.
and it
They
wasn't
did
good,
that
right?
huge festival
They
circuit tour.
probably did one more. I think.
Yeah, but they
I think
haven't
they
done
did
it.
one more like
Yeah.
after the breakup. They came back
Yeah.
together and did another one.
And it was very like
No, a
lackluster.
couple
Just
years
like,
ago,
all
they did a
right,
whole
break.
Outcast where they did like Coachella, Lala, like they did all the like
Did they?
crazy soft
No.
ticket like shows. Yeah,
Wow, you gotta do the soft ticket shit.
I mean they made a shit
Soft
ton of money.
How long did you do soft tickets for?
I did the soft ticket shit. What?
How long would you say you were in the soft ticket pocket?
I'm still in soft ticket. For sure. I mean, you don't care
Easy
how
money.
it does.
That's where you
which
wanna
is
be.
Fucking great. And they pay you through the teeth, and you only have to play like 71 minutes.
Nice.
Which I know playing 3.5 hours is great and all, but 71 minutes is kind of dope because you get like a whole night to do
Yeah.
shit.
You could do 3 songs. Dude.
You can do, I can do 3.5 songs.
Fuck yeah.
I can tie on a keyboard solo and a guitar solo. And then
Damn.
out of there.
Game, set, match.
Ladies and gentlemen, guy with laptop following
ABBA.
ABBA with the laptop. Disco Biscuits and then ABBA and laptop.
Followed by Rammjamm with their one song.
And in the late night tent,
They do the whole color spectrum, Betty, actually. It's Roy G. Biv.
We have
Betty.
red, black, yellow.
what's your favorite soft ticket to play?
We're playing Electric Forest this year.
Oh,
That's
that's
a
right.
soft-
That's all
I
right.
think that's
Super
worth
squishy.
Yeah.
that's worth the try. I think it's sold out already though.
Yeah,
It's sold out in like 8 seconds.
Where is that?
Michigan.
It's in Michigan.
How
We're
long
at
has
it.
that been sold? Like, that thing always sells it. That is a
know if
monumental
that's
festival.
true.
It's like
Really?
Jesus Festival, right?
I don't know.
Drink cheese
This year it
festival?
sold out. It's gotta be right now.
The promos always look monumental. Like, just the coolest shit, dude. Like,
What did it used to
They
be
got
called Rothberry back in
VIP
the day,
sections
right?
and
It
like
used to be called Rock.
their
Yeah,
design and stuff is through it looks like
Yeah,
it.
they have,
You
this,
play
they
it.
have this forest which is really lit up and stuff like that, and people take acid and walk through the
great
forest,
place to
and they
be.
don't come
No
out. For like
way.
40.
Psychedelic.
Yeah,
All my
people are like, "Wait, you played the festival?" I'm like, "Yeah, what happened to you?" They're like, "Oh no, we walked into the forest, and now we've been there for 4 days."
Lost in the forest.
It's just like
we wound
know,
up in Vancouver.
you've had my phone the whole time. You know that, right?
What bands did
Oh,
you see?
sorry.
I don't know.
Give me a
man.
hug.
I think that's like I think Bass Nectar. That's on like the
Well,
Bass
String
Nectar
Cheese is
circuit
always
of
top
things.
billing, and then Bass Nectar is like right under them. Is it? I don't know.
This year it's String Cheese, Bass Nectar, Diplo, Major Laser, us, and Big Gigantic.
Oh, Major.
Yeah.
Diplo's gonna bring Major Laser. In?
Okay.
Diplo, when he
That's
plays
fucking
festivals,
sick.
he goes as both himself and Major Laser because
That's
Major-
awesome. I mean,
I mean,
just
when you're
bringing-
Diplo, I think you just put
Dude.
shit like
It's
that all the time. Not only does he show up in both, he
you imagine-
demands full payment for
Could you
both
imagine
acts.
that? You know that the
Major
person
Laser is like him and
like
his
when
boy.
you show up with yourself
Right.
and your
Yeah.
craft work cover. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
You know that
He's like, wait a second, we have 7 billion views on our last song. And they're like, okay, you okay?
You know that the
All right, we're
person
should
good.
we
is
bring
in that.
Cardi B along? Yeah, why not?
You know that the person is in that crowd though that like just wants to see Diplo and is like, yeah, I'm good on Major Laser.
Yeah,
and
right.
you're like,
Yeah.
and that's like really funny.
But if you're Diplo and they're like, how about 150 grand? He's like, how about 300 and I'll bring my boy.
Tell you the truth, we tried that with Tractor Beam at Electric Forest this year. We tried
Nice.
that.
You should late night tractor
late
beam
night
tent
it?
at Electric
That'd be
Forest. What
We
fantastic.
the
tried
fuck?
to have them book Tractor
Is it
Beam
too
and
late?
Disco
I mean,
Biscuits
it's-
separately from each
It's
other.
never too
They
late.
said maybe. It's
never too late.
They just said no.
Yeah, but it's
But
not.
it's just because nobody's heard of Tractor Beam.
You can always, yeah, but
Next year,
they don't need
Hey, give me
to.
the
They don't.
straight
They
down,
don't need to hear about it. Electric Forest, if you're listening, you don't need to hear about it. You just need to put it as a late edition in a late night tent, and then the word will get out, and it'll be a fucking party. So
next
Don't worry, all the organizers are still lost in the forest from last year.
yeah, hey guys,
Nobody's out of the forest
They're
yet.
looking for food.
this is on.
I don't know how they announce a
loudspeaker.
show in the forest, but they pull it off every year.
carrier pigeons. Man. I'm telling you, they did launch one off.
Sorry, this is on a
Seriously.
loudspeaker in the forest.
You send
Tractor beam, guys. Late night.
you send a carrier pigeon to Facebook and they post everything on Facebook.
We were
I
talking.
mean, dude, maybe that's
Brandon.
the set. It's Tractor Beam stream in a gazebo in the forest with
That kind of
Yeah,
bring,
why wouldn't that be the best show
Like,
of the
that'd
night?
be fucking awesome.
Dude, I'll
Give me
tell
one
you
reason
what.
why that's not the best show.
tractor beaming like one of those Gravitron type fair
Yeah, like all
rides.
tight and shit. Like, guitar, like,
Dude, you
running
just-
up.
I mean,
and
like,
down.
dude, those the way
It would
those
have to be
things work
activated.
though.
It could just like look like that.
The way those things work, the person in the middle isn't
could just jam.
spinning.
Yeah, I think we just
like,
came
it's
up.
like an amusement ride
Dude,
where
we just
like,
came up with something.
Yo,
That
like
scene
you
in
got the
Fear and
band in the
Loathing,
middle,
when they get on the
everybody else is
carousel,
on the side.
Trademarked.
You know?
Trademark.
You ever seen that
internet.
movie with Johnny Depp and
grab another
Benicio
beer.
del Toro? When they go
Grab me
to...
one. Yeah.
I want to do another. I want to try the Targaryen.
Yes.
I want.
Yeah, let's take a break.
We'll be right back.
We'll be right back. We'll be right back with more Electric Forest. There you have it, folks. The podcast that continues to do strange and utterly weird things. This conversation picks up in episode 2, which is coming as next episode of the podcast. So thank you for listening. Thank you to the Osiris Podcast Network. Thank you to Immaculate Seeds. Thank you to CRUNKMIKE and Vic Sobti. And we will be back next episode with the conclusion of Round Table.
We're mass communicating. We're mass communicating.